All right, so it's about to get real in today's video. It's about to get real. So I hope you're ready because I'm ready. Now, before we get started, I have to quickly mention that this is the third video in a mini series that I'm doing called Get Your Life Together. And if you haven't seen the first two, I'll leave a link to the playlist in the description box down below. But in today's video, like I said, we're about to get real, and I'm actually going to share 5 things with you that you can do to help set boundaries in your life, but to also stop people pleasing. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump to the first thing on my list, and I hope you're taking notes. The first thing on my list is a 2-in-1, and that is to listen to your feelings, but also listen to your gut. Now, what does that mean? It's impossible to know where you're headed in life and what you want to do with your life if you don't know how you feel, if you're not in tune with how you feel. But also on the other hand, if you're doing something with your life, if there's people around you or whatever the case is, and something just doesn't sit right in your heart and your mind and your gut, then you have to listen to that feeling. Being in tune with how you feel, listening to your gut plays a huge role in setting those boundaries to stop people pleasing, but also to really direct you down a path that you should be headed down in your life and the goals that you set for yourself. So be in tune with how you feel, listen to how you feel, but then listen to your gut when you're in those situations where you're kind of like, I'm just not too sure. It'll take you a long way, I promise you. The second thing on my list is to speak up. Speak up and communicate about what you will and will not tolerate in your life. You don't want to be that person that is being walked all over by everyone around them, and everybody that's surrounding them is saying whatever they feel like saying and doing whatever they want to do with you. You don't want to be that person. Speak up and speak out about what you will and will not tolerate in your life. You'll gain so much more respect from it if you just speak up, show your confidence, show your strength, communicate what you will and will not tolerate. I promise you, you will set those boundaries, you'll stop people pleasing, and you'll just gain their respect. Speak up, communicate what you will and will not tolerate. And number 3 is to give yourself permission to be happy. Give yourself permission to be happy, to be you, to stay true to you, to do what you want to do with your life. Don't allow fear, don't allow regret, anxiety, the lack of knowledge, whatever it is, don't allow those negative things to hold you back and prevent you from doing what you want to do in your life. Give yourself permission. It's okay to not know. It's okay to mess up. We all make mistakes, but give yourself permission to be happy and to do whatever it is that makes you happy. So the fourth thing on my list that you need to do is to make self-care a priority in your life. I'm going to say it again. Make self-care a priority in your life. Now, not by any means am I saying that you should not care for others and value the relationships that you do have in your life, because you should. I value the people that are in my life. I value the relationships that I built in my life. But at the same time, I want to encourage you to not forget about yourself. Don't forget about your feelings, your self-care, your mental health, your physical health, your emotional health. Do not forget about you. Make your self-care a priority in your life, because if you're not in the right headspace, if you're not in the right space emotionally, physically, whatever it is, it's impossible to maintain those healthy and value-filled relationships and things in your life. Make self-care a priority in your life, because it'll help make the other things in your life priorities and values and stronger overall. I promise you. Now, before I share the 5th thing on my list that I have for you for setting boundaries and stop people pleasing, if this is your first time tuning in, welcome to my channel. I talk about minimalism and intentional living, but also share my creativity and ways to build on your passions here as well. So if you enjoy either of those things, you already know what to do. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and tap the bell so you're notified every time I drop a video. So before I share the 5th thing on my list, I have a question. Are you enjoying this video? If you are, make sure you let me know in the comment section down below. Now, the 5th thing that I have on my list is something that I've mentioned before in previous videos, and I'm going to mention it again here because it is extremely important and it fits this topic very well, and that is to know your values. The 5th thing on my list is to know your values. And it's ironic because when you know your values, the last 4 things that I mentioned prior to this 5th step or this 5th tip that I have for you magically find a way to fall into place. They magically seem to work themselves out when you know what your core values are in your life. When you know those things, everything else seems to kind of just play itself out, to fall into place perfectly, because you know what you value, you know what you want to do with your life, you know what you want to add it to your life because you know what you value. And I have a spreadsheet that I'll share again with you in the description box down below. I'll leave a link. It's a free download. Don't need your email. I don't need anything from you. You can download it absolutely free to help you figure out what your core values are, to help you set you up and head you down the right path in your life, to finding your values and then setting those boundaries and to stop people pleasing. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you hit a thumbs up for me. Again, I hope it encourages you and supports you and motivates you to continue down your journey, continue growing on your journey as well. Again, give it a thumbs up for me. Leave a comment down below if you enjoyed this. Let's continue this conversation. And as always, stay true to you. See you in the next one. Peace.